headquarters, they raided one party alone. Why? Because only the Conservative Party broke the spending limits. Only the Conservative Party refused to cooperate with Elections Canada.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative Party has followed all the laws. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the Conservative Party has used practices, as has been demonstrated in this House, that have been used for years, allowed by Elections Canada, and used by every single party. In fact, Mr. Speaker, it's very interesting. You know, the honourable member, some Liberals went to court recently against Elections Canada, and Elections Canada was made to, they forced Elections Canada to allow the transfer of hundreds of thousands of dollars to their leadership candidates, of which the deputy leader was a beneficiary.
Why does the Prime Minister think he can disregard the rules? Why does he think the Conservative Party can spend $1 million more than any other party? Does he think he's above the law? The Elections Canada had given for a long time. There's a bit of hypocrisy here, Mr. Speaker, because as I said, some Liberals sued Elections Canada to get hundreds of thousands of dollars from their party.
When Elections Canada raided Conservative Party headquarters, they did so because 16 out of 18 Conservative Party operatives refused to answer any questions. That's why the raid was necessary in the first place.
What the honourable member is saying is that it's strange that Elections Canada had one practice for the Conservative Party and one for others' party. We agree. Mr. Speaker, that's not correct. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the Conservative Party of Canada has never refused any documentation to Elections Canada. In fact, by our own lawsuit, we are required to provide that documentation, and we believe, Mr. Speaker, as a consequence, that raid broke Elections Canada's own rules.
The Prime Minister referred in his remarks to the Elections Canada's failure to follow its own rules. I have here Chapter 7 of the Elections Canada's Investigators Manual, and the right to be protected from unreasonable search and seizure refers readers to look at Section 6.4, and it reads as follows, Mr. Chair. It is the suspect's prerogative to refuse to produce or remit documents. In such cases, investigators must advise the suspect that they accept the decision and record the matter accordingly in the statement report. They should also advise the suspect that the matter will be reported to the Commissioner, who may consider requesting a court order. I've been in contact with the Conservative Party lawyers who indicate to me that they have had no such advice in the lead up to the Elections Canada visit to the Conservative Party headquarters. These are the rules that Elections Canada investigators are obliged to follow before they take such a dramatic step of moving in to a party's headquarters with other parties towing along with cameras. Mr. Speaker, they are obliged to follow these rules, and unless they can produce evidence that they gave any sort of advice that they had been refused documents, then they have broken their own rules.